Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be checking out my top 5 bikes of Superbike 22. Now this list is just 5 bikes of what I feel deserve which spot, but of course if you disagree at any of them, let me know in the comment section down below. So coming up first then, in last position and number 5 is the Yamaha YZF R1. Now it is odd for me to pick the Yamaha as the worst bike effectively in a milestone video game, in any bike game for that matter, but I've got to be honest with you, it doesn't resonate with me at all. Compared to Ride 4, compared to MotoGP, and any other game that has a Yamaha, I'm pretty much all over them and I love them, but I cannot get on with it in Superbike 22. The bike feels somewhat sluggish. I struggle to turn in with the bike. It's got quite a bit of power, but I also find it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and that is ultimately turn. So yeah, the Yamaha for me is 5th on the list. Now I'm not necessarily saying it's the worst bike in the game, I'm saying my opinion is that it doesn't work for me and therefore it is in 5th position. So if you guys do enjoy this video and you want to see more lists from Superbike 22 and maybe some of the other games, be sure to let me know, and also consider hitting the subscribe button as well. But now let's move over on to number 4 on the list, and this one kind of pains me because I really wanted the BMW to be a little bit higher, and sometimes I do feel it could be higher, but the next 3 bikes are just that little bit more superior in my opinion. For me, I must reiterate, for me, for how it works for me. And I do love the BMW, I do think it's a great bike. Do think it's a bit of a glass cannon in the sense of a lot of power and not the most stable. I find I struggle with wheelies, I struggle with maybe bringing on the power too abruptly with a rear tyre sliding. But I love the way the BMW feels. It's got power, it's got oomph, it's got drive, but it's not quite as good as the rest of the bikes in this list in my opinion. Now compared to the Yamaha, I do find that the BMW turns in very nicely and also much more relaxed and comfortable on the brakes, whereas the Yamaha I find I'm having to really slam on hard to get the bike stopped. So BMW, more than happy with in 4th position. Probably could have argued for it to be a little bit higher, maybe. I'll change my mind in a couple of days or weeks, but for now, the BMW M1000RR deserves 4th place on my list for Superbike 22. So now moving on to the rostrum. I quoted this bike to be the best in an online live stream a couple of days ago. It is indeed the Ducati Panagale V4 R, and I'm really pressed now to try and choose an option for these top 3. They are so difficult to choose from. But I will confess, I do prefer the other 2 just a slight bit more than the Ducati. I think the Ducati is fantastic. It is really stable. It's quite possibly the most stable bike out of all of them, but I do find the turning isn't quite as nice as the next 2 bikes on this list. But the Ducati Panagale V4 R is a terrific bike to use in Superbike 22. Whether you're just starting out or you're trying to get the fastest lap times, you can't go wrong with the Panigale V4 R. You really cannot. And of course it looks amazing, it sounds good. I do wish it sounded a bit more beefy, but comparing it to some of the other bikes, I'd say it sounds just absolutely fine. So fair enough, Ducati Panigale, 3rd position on the list, only 2 more to go. So now in 2nd place, it is the Honda CBR 1000RR, an absolutely amazing bike in Superbike 22. It quite possibly feels amazing, quite possibly the best. It's just I do find the other bike to be a little bit better, but the Honda sounds amazing in this game and it really feels powerful. It just, I don't know how to describe it, it just feels fast, it feels quick, it's nimble, it's agile. It's a fantastic bike and it absolutely deserves 2nd place on this list. Could have argued that it would have been number 1, and I probably would have said it a couple of weeks ago, but I've been spending a lot more time with the other bike, which you probably already worked out which is it by now. But the Honda, the Ducati, and of course the next bike on the list, it's all very close, marginal differences, but down to my preferences I would put the Honda 2nd, just barely above the Ducati, which the Ducati is just barely above the BMW. And so far the only definitive answer I could really give you was the Yamaha being in last position. But it's now time to take a look at the top spot on my top 5 list for Superbike 22. So now to number 1 on our list, or at least my list should I say. Number 1 is the Kawasaki ZX-10RR. Of course, Team Green taking the victory for DrAce in today's list. Now, to be honest with you, as I mentioned just a moment ago with the Honda and the Ducati, the gaps are marginal at best. All the bikes in Superbike 22, except the Yamaha, I didn't really particularly enjoy that one, are excellent, and they are very difficult to choose a favourite. But I will confess, the more time I've spent with the ZX-10RR and the more time I've played this game, the more this bike is beginning to make sense. With the other ones I can make a couple of mishaps and a few mistakes here and there, but the Kawasaki just feels right. It's nimble, it's quick, it can go pretty solid on the brakes, and I don't ever feel like I'm getting a bit out of shape. When I brake with the BMW and sometimes the Honda, I do find that I start to do stoppies and endos and struggle a little bit, but with the Kawasaki I've never had that issue. I just feel pretty good with it, and I highly recommend you use it. And if you haven't used any of these bikes yet, and maybe you've been holding off, I highly recommend you check out all 5 bikes and also give them a good try and really get the feeling for each bike, and let me know your list as well, because that's just as important. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what your top 5 bikes would be in Superbike 22, and I will chat to you in the comments. So guys, like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.